On the way home today, I was listening to Glenn Beck, and he was talking about GE Finance's decision to no longer provide loans to businesses whose primary business is firearms. And he was saying how, Wells Fargo stopped doing it a couple of years ago and somebody else a few years before that, and how, if there's nobody willing to provide financing to these businesses, it'll drive up the cost of firearms and it'll infringe on our rights because we won't be able to buy guns because they won't provide loans and all this. And I just can't help but stop and say, GE Finance is a private corporation. They set the criteria by which they offer loans. This is the crux of capitalism, that the business gets to decide how to run itself. And this business decided it does not want to deal in firearms. And yeah, he's attacking it like it's taking away our freedom. Well, this is capitalism. This is what he wants. How can he forget this deep-held belief, this so much the core of him that he goes off on it every day, day in and day out, for years on end. And yet when it infringes on guns, oh, well, forget about that. Then he goes on to say how, what else could this happen to? Maybe our freedom of speech? You can't post anything you want on Twitter or Facebook. And I stop again. Those are both private. The First Amendment applies to the government infringing on the right to free speech, nothing else. Private organizations and businesses can set their own rules for their membership and usage of their services. And if they want to set rules that involve guidelines on speech, they are more than free to do that. You do not have to go to Facebook. You do not have to go to Twitter. You choose to, and you agree to their terms of use when you do so. Just like I agree to the terms of use for YouTube. It's not an infringement on free speech. It's nothing like that. It is simply a fact that they are private. And this, again, is a central core value of capitalism. If the enterprises, organizations, businesses, and etc. are all allowed to determine their own rules for their own endeavor that they want to engage in. It's simply that the government can't restrict our freedom of speech. I just can't help but laugh at it. He rants on these taking away our freedoms, but this is not the government. This is private enterprise. This is private organizations. This is capitalism that's infringing, not government infringing. And yet he's playing it like this is some horrible event. This is what he wants. He wants capitalism. He wants all this freedom. Part of the freedom is granting everybody else the same freedom we have. And that is allowing them to decide the rules and criteria by which they are going to operate their endeavor.